Hey everybody, it's Baby Bear. Sorry I've been missing in action. I have just been frustrated with Evony with stuff like this, network outages during Ymir Day, and these sorry excuses for the compensation, but mostly because of the Junior All-Stars. I have so many complaints about it. It just was a really letdown of an event again. Luckily, it was just juniors for me and I didn't really take it seriously, but I still used a hell of a lot of speed ups and it was unnecessary. And especially for 25 Galaxy coins, it was just a bad experience overall. So when I get the time to muster up the content of that situation, I'll try to get it together. But honestly, it's just one of those things where I just I'm blacked out from it. It was like 6 a.m. in the morning and I was like, I didn't even want to be there. So, anyways, here we are at the event, the new update, the new old update of the Kong event. And this is the final Kong event. I don't know how many times they've had this event, but this is now the final event. And you would think after all the final events, they would have had some of these situations already. So if you have the Kong Castle and the March already, you can collect an extra boost from that. And of course, they didn't update the Spirit Beast. They have the Mermaid still. The Cake event doesn't have the actual Kong Castle, so it still has the Meteor Stones and just the typical stuff that it normally has, so nothing special there. And I think by this time they actually updated, so now the Spirit Beast is back to Kong. And they have, let's see, yeah, the Guardian of Skull Island, so back to Kong. So if you haven't gotten him yet, you still can get him. And you can pretty much get him for free if you kill a lot of bosses. So you should have him by now. And what else? What else? Oh, yeah. Here, so they have a new champion. They finally listened to us. Not a blonde champion, but now they have a redhead. And it looks like she is not going to be too bad in terms of price. Same as before, you need to collect 400 items to unlock her. You get 10 free every day from monsters, so just know that this event lasts 10 days, so you're going to get 100 free. If the math is right there, you'll get 100 free, so whatever you get from there, you can unlock however many packs you need to get in order to get the balance of the 300. I talked to a couple of people who already unlocked her because they're crazy and they just want to, they get sucked into this, you know? And she has the SVS revival power again. I guess people really like that boost. She also has the mount HP, so people like that as well. I'm just curious why they want to repeat, you know, just keep repeating these things. It's just, you would think they would have some new interesting boosts that people don't have yet. Um, so yeah, so I just look at here because I'm like, well, Sissy, I have her at 15, but if I want to get her at 50%, I would have to unlock her at 19. But if I wanted to, you know, unlock this lady, I could maybe get 10%, you know, for much cheaper. So just stuff like that you have to kind of weigh out. But to me, honestly, it's just it's not really worth it anymore. I'm getting to the point where I think the older the servers get, I think people just kind of get tired of playing SVS. Obviously, you saw my last SVS. I play really recklessly sometimes because SVSs get really boring. There's just, you know, one thing that I'm really excited about are these relics, and let me tell you why I'm excited. The last time this event came around was when Missy and her crew decided to wage war on the server, and I was really excited about these relics because we get double the rewards, and I'm like one of those people that like loves the relics, and so we missed out on this because of the stupid war, and so I am so excited that this event is here because we can now get our double rewards from the relics. So everybody, if you're going to bed, just put the marches in these relics because they're worth it. You can get a lot of good generals from there, and everything is doubled. So it's worth it. This is like the one time that you should do relics. And oh, this is my favorite, the white monkeys. The white monkeys are my absolute favorite. Like, they're my favorite. I think they even beat the mermaids. I love the white monkeys. I love the drunk fruits and the mushrooms that they give. I love the source of life. I think they are so much fun, and I like them more than Ymir's. I know. People are gonna talk shit, but that's just the truth. So I really hope that they keep those white monkeys around, even if they say that this is the final Kong collaboration event. I mean, the white monkey isn't really Kong, so they don't have to pay like the IP license and all that kind of stuff. So, you know, yeah. So cool. I think what else? They have so many events that are going on here that my brain can't actually function because I was trying to focus on just killing Ymir's, and then when all these events came out, I was like brain short circuiting because it's too much. Um, Obviously you want to hit all of those like skull cap monsters because those are what going to give you the little fangs for the monkeys. There's also the challenge Kong contest, which I feel like might not be worth it anymore, right? Because the last time we played this event, I just remember wasting so many of my March boosts, my like high increases and all of my boosts and stuff, and for what? There was no gain for it really. So I think I'm not gonna go all out on that challenge because you just don't get a good reward from it. I mean, if a March increase is 200k gems, right, and you're only getting a 50k gem reward in return, not worth it. The Revelry Carnival, I always kind of like these events because you can get frames and stuff like that. This one I'm gonna do a separate video on this junior trial quiz thing because I think it's kind of fun. It is really fun. Again, Evony sometimes has like really cute events, and this one I actually like. So I will do a separate video on this one, but this one is fun. Just know that it's like a quiz, and you can actually share questions to your world chat and to like your AC, and they're freaking random questions too. And then they're like questions about the storylines and like their characters that I have no idea who they're talking about. So there's always a guy, Chris Nicolesi, who's in my comments a lot, and he always knows every freaking character storyline on Evony. So he'll probably answer all his quizzes correctly. But anyways, a shout out to him. Anyways, I will do a separate video on that because it is really fun. And then here's an adventure mission, which has the silver adventure badges and the gold ones. And as you know, the silver ones you get for free from all of your activities, and then the gold ones from packs. And they have this adventure story, which has this captivating storyline. And by the way, you can just click that and it will show you all the text at once, so you don't have to read it line by line. Just saving you the time because I actually was reading this I read the whole thing, guys. Let me just save you the time. Just look. James Conrad has a drinking problem and a gambling problem. Not lying. He's in the tavern and he has a drinking and gambling problem, and basically I think he loses his chips, and then the Japanese girl shows up and is like, "Hey, I have a mission for you. I have $10,000. Let me give you $10,000 up front and do this mission for me." And then like they go off on an adventure. So that's a story. And see, here you go. Look, they're gangsters in a tavern, and James Conrad is up to no good. I had no idea this was the storyline in Evony, but you know, it is captivating. So let me just fast forward this so you guys can read it on your own. So what I do find interesting about this update is that Evony has made very clear that this is the final round of the Kong collaboration. And what I find interesting is that they are making that very, very clear. I guess that means that this time after this event, if we have any pigment after, we can definitely trade it in for hammers, knowing that there's not ever going to be another event coming up that's going to need pigment. I know a lot of people were disappointed because they traded in their pigment for hammers the last time, but I do remember them saying there was one last round of a Kong collaboration coming up, so I knew to not trade in my pigment. And I suppose it means we won't have another relic like this, but I do wonder, does it mean the James Conrad and Pam Weaver, are those generals going to be really hard to get because don't you get them in tokens still? Or I'm not sure when they say Kong related because they are kind of part of the theme, right? I obviously probably the castle you probably won't be able to get, but it's like how many times have they come out with those cake castles many times over? But again, maybe just because of a licensing thing, they can only sell it up to a certain point and they can't sell it anymore. So that could be definitely a reason for them to not be able to sell it anymore. It could just also be a selling point to get people to be like, hey, we have to buy this because we can't ever get it again. And then just, pull the wool over your eyes and then next month they have it. So who knows, but they really want you to think that this is the last King Kong collaboration. But I feel like ever since I started this game, which was a year and 3 months or so ago, I feel like we've been playing a King Kong event and not Evony, right? So one interesting thing is that if you actually go into one of these event panels here, they actually have a trailer showing the cross pollination of King Arthur and Skull Island. So it's kind of funny. It's a little silly. So anyways, I'll show that at the end of this recap. But let me see if there's anything else interesting on this update. There's one more thing. Oh my gosh, there's so many things. The Dwarf's Treasure. I really don't like this event. However, the event is actually, there's one thing that I like about it. So don't play this event to get those castles, guys. Like, I've tried, just trust me on this. Don't play that to get those. If you're going to play this event, do it because you want to get one of those March effects or one of those frames that you've like been dying to get that you missed out on. Because there's some like, cute frames that I've missed out on in the past or whatnot, or there's some marches that I've missed out in the past. So that's your chance to get marches or frames that you really want. Okay, I think I've gone through as much as I possibly can on here. There's just so much. There's so much stuff. Seriously, here's my gripe. Can I complain just one more time? Can we please have Ymir's on non-SVS fucking weekends? Because I try so hard to focus on Ymir's, and I can't because I have to deal with throne truces and SVS and dealing with all of that and dealing with all of everybody else's dramas and problems. Like, I just want to kill the Ymir's just by itself. Can we have it on a non-SVS weekend? Please. Please. And then I can just, I can get with everything else. Everything else is just fine. Anyways, watch this trailer and I hope you have an amazing week.
Recently discovered on Skull Island, believed to have once been carried by King Arthur. The entire expedition was perplexed as to why the fabled sword appeared on the Kong-inhabited Skull Island.
My lord, we finally found it. Is this Avalon Island?